everybody? Welcome to the mashanddrum Whiskey Room on this Whiskey Wednesday night. Happy holidays or upcoming holidays. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Welcome to the show tonight. Have a great show lined up for you guys. Gonna have a lot of fun. Hope everybody is ready to sip some whiskey along with me. Sip some great bourbon, an Irish whiskey, a Scotch, a tequila, whatever you have with you guys. Gonna have fun tonight. We're going to be cracking open this beautiful box right here, the brand new Baker's 13 single barrel bourbon. And then we're going to be getting into my next barrel proof blind tasting. Obviously, we're going to do this first so my palate doesn't get all burnt out. So yeah, we'll do this one first, go through the tasting notes, and then the barrel proof one. We have some really interesting picks tonight. So I think what we'll be able to do is I'll go through beforehand when I start tasting them what exactly is in the blind flight. I have a wild card in there. I'm going to see how it does against some of these other ones. So we'll go through that first. But before we go into there, let's go into the chat. You guys have been fired up tonight, hanging out. Love it. Of course, my stalwart Steve A is in the house. The Bourbon Buddies. How you doing, Neil? OG Brick 420's in the house. How you doing? Nathan Lecomte. Let's see. You guys are here early. One Lost Cause is here. Nice to see you again. Trev Wilson, my man with the wrench. I'm just gonna call him the wrench from now on. Tim Gargis. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Chad Holly is here. We also have, let's see, Victoria C. Nice to see you, Victoria. Thanks for coming in. John Picard, my buddy from Texas. Cap and make it happen. Jason Coates, the doppelgangers in the house. The Linux Cat says, yo, yo, yo. What's up, man? Spencer Mavis here. We also have, let's see, who else? A bunch of people popping in right now. Wheels is in the house. What's going on, Wheels? Robot Scott. What's up, Scotty? How you doing? Let's see. Who else is coming in here? I want to make sure I miss anybody. Charles Ashworth is here. How you doing, man? Donald Rance, my Yoda of Irish whiskey, is in the house. Scott Meacham is here, or Meacham. Sorry if I messed that up. What else we got? Arthur Lopez, what is up, buddy? Doug Tempest, Sharper 4221, ECBP, he's drinking. Fat Trumpet 2. Yeah, he's got a country ham in his glass. Andrew Spurrell's in the house. Nicholas Villaggio, Kirk Bollinger, Silverlock Whiskey Club, hello. Karen B. Ford, how you doing, Karen? Thanks for coming in. Brian Walsh is here. Jeff Buckmaster, ADHD Fishing, Hump Day, he said. Very good. Jim Muller's here. Let's see who else and more people jumping in. Kilojolt, I say more hi to you guys as you come in. Emily Chambers, I just saw jumped in. Awesome. Peter White is here too. That intro was fire. Josh Embry. Oh, thanks, man. That was my special holiday intro for the live streams. I actually just made that today. I was like, what am I gonna do when I get home? I'm gonna make that. Tim Gard just said a little. I hope did it go back in focus, Tim? I think it did. Sometimes the camera does some autofocus. Okay, yeah. Sharper 4221. No, I am not bringing out tequila tonight. I was just saying if any of you guys don't want to drink a whiskey, rather have tequila, then more power to you. All right, let's see. We already have 67 in the chat tuning in. Awesome, guys. Hopefully more of you guys pop in. So before we get started, as always, want to thank my Patreons real quick. I got some new Patreons this week, including The Wrench became a new patron. Trev Wilson, new patron. Also, I Whiskey She Wines became a new patron as well. Also, Tom Kasner. Thanks, guys, for jumping in. Patreons, if I want you to keep an eye out the next couple weeks, you're going to get a sneak peek at my brand new coin that's going to be coming out soon. And you'll get first dibs on the t-shirt. So thanks again for becoming patrons. Really appreciate it. So before we get into the whiskey tonight, guys, I pour some Bakers and get into the review, I'm gonna do a couple of whiskey news stories right here. Not many news stories. It's kind of slow around this time of year, but there was a couple news stories that jumped out. So let's go to the first one. It's about the Balvenie 50 marriage. I don't know if you pronounce this marriage or marriage 0197. This is the second release in the marriage series for the Speyside Distillery. This follows the marriage 0962, which was released in 2018. This was also blended by malt master David Stewart, who selected from 5 American oak casks containing 50-year and older single malts. Like the previous release, the Balvenie 50 comes in a 50-layered wooden tube, 48 walnut, 2 brass. It also includes an etched brass certificate and bottled glorifier. I don't know what that means. The decanters are 100% hand-blown crystal. Nice. It is available globally in limited numbers as of actually last month, with an MSRP of a low price of $38,000. Not bad, guys. Next up, Octomore. So this is called, if this bottle looks different to you guys, for you Octomore fans, this is the Octomore X4 Plus 10 Concept 0.2. It's a limited edition release in Bruichladdich super heavily peated range. It's dubbed X4 as the single malt was distilled 4 times instead of 2, reaching an ABV of 89% after distillation. It was made in 2007 with 100% Scottish grown barley that was peated to 162 peat parts per million. After 10 years of aging, it's bottled at 70% ABV, making this the highest ABV whiskey release ever to come from the distillery. The barrels used for maturation were a mix of first fill American, Oloroso sherry, and Rivesaltes Vindu natural sweet wine casks. Only 3,500 milliliter size bottles are available, sold exclusively on the distillery's website with a 2-bottle per person limit at $195 per bottle. Next up is Few Bourbon. Now, this is an interesting bourbon whiskey. This is called Few Cold Cut Bourbon. It's a limited edition whiskey made by Illinois-based Few Spirits, made using cask-strength Few Bourbon. Then, when it's time to cut or bring the bourbon to proof, some of the water that would ordinarily be used is replaced with cold brew coffee. Man, how do they get away with calling this a bourbon if you can add coffee to it? I don't understand. We've seen lots of integrations of coffee and cold brew in the spirit space, from coffee liqueurs to coffee-flavored products. Typically, when bourbon comes out of the barrel at cask strength, it's cut or proofed to bottling strength with water. We wondered what would happen if you swapped out some of that water with cold brew coffee. Only 1,000 cases are available beginning November. MSRP of $44.99 to about $51.99. So, yeah, this... Not really sure about this one, guys. This one seems a little bit sketchy to me. Not sure why. How are they able to still call it a bourbon whiskey if they're adding cold brew coffee to it? Eric Waite says, I'll go half with you on a bottle of that. If you're talking about the Octomore, hell yeah. Yeah, bourbon. Yeah, cold brew bourbon. It's breakfast bourbon. And last story of the night, guys. I don't know if you've heard. This is Whiskey Advocate unveiled their top 20 whiskeys of the year. Now, if some of these look a little bit weird to you, so I got kind of caught off guard when I heard Dickel Bottled and Bond was named number 1. But however, the top 20 is not simply a collection of the highest rated whiskey, because so many of those are limited. Therefore, in addition to quality based on score, their selection also prioritized value based on price and availability. So the unveiling of the magazine's top whiskey of the year coincides with the release of its greater top 20 list. So, as you can see on there, guys, the Dickel Bottled and Bond made it number 1. Dewar's 21, 2. Four Roses Small Batch Select was 3rd. Heaven Hill, the new Bottled and Bond, came in at 4th. 5th, and let's see. That Woodford Reserve is actually the batch proof. Old Ezra's in there. Couple of other really cool bottles. I'm actually really glad that Bardstown Fusion made it at number 11, because that is a damn good bourbon. So that is the news, guys. Go back to the main scene, and I can see my ugly face again. Top 20 fail, says Drew Bolin, 1, 2, 3. So we were talking about this on the stream yesterday with Bourbon Junkies, I Whiskey She Wines. We were all on. We were all watching it. We were all kind of talking about it. You know, people that really hate Dickel, I could see why you would not be happy with that, because people have extremely, extremely strong opinions about George Dickel whiskey. And, you know, it's that Flintstone vitamin, taste that everybody says they get in it. But for the people that love George Dickel, if you're looking based on value and availability, you have a 13-year-old bottled and bond Tennessee whiskey that's, well, I wouldn't want to say it's readily available, because I can't get it here. I had to get mine in Tennessee. But at a price of about, what, 35 bucks, 36 bucks. That's a ton of value in a bottle. Now, I don't know if that swayed their position a little bit. Maybe it did. Because there's definitely, I think, some other stuff on that list. I'd probably take that Fusion. I probably would have put over the Dickel from Bardstown Bourbon Company. But I mean, if you're just looking at pure value in today's market, that's a big deal. So I could see why they lean that way. But if you're going on flavor profile, I actually like the 12. The 12 recipe was my favorite when I did the review. I felt like that had the most balance. Like the Bottled and Bond was very, very oaky. You got like more of that stronger Flintstone vitamin flavor, I felt like. So yeah, it was an interesting choice, I think. But yeah, Tim Gardner said the Dickel Bonbon was too oaky for me. Yeah. Eric Wade, I've never had Dickel in my mouth. Liar. Pneumanium, value means nothing when the juice tastes like vitamins. Yeah, and I get that, Pneumanium, but also, you know, if they're between a few whiskeys, like, say, take that top 5. Say they were in between those top 5. It was down to those top 5 or even top 3. Say all of them to them are all delicious. What are they going to go with? They're going to lean towards the value of the bottle probably. And that's might have been what kind of swayed it in that favor. So, all right, guys, enough yapping. Let's open some Bakers. I'm excited. So this is a limited release. As you guys know, Baker's Bourbon got a little bit of a remodeling this year. They changed the bottle style. They also went single barrel rather than a small batch is what it used to be. That was bottled at 107 proof, the old, black wine looking bottle. This comes in a very, very beautiful box. This is still 107 proof, which I like. It kind of keeps the familiarity of it. So you open it up and you get this beautiful bottle in here. Just gorgeous presentation on the part of Jim Beam. Gotta love it. So let's take this baby out. Ooh. That's in there nice and tight. That's what she said. Sorry. All right. So Baker's 13-year, 107 proof single barrel. Does this have plastic on it? Oh, yeah, I should have taken this off beforehand. Sorry, guys. Hey, what's up? Whiskey Crusaders in the house. Mike Gonzalez in the house. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Haven't talked to you in a while. Yeah, this is a fancy-looking bottle of Whiskey Ace. I do want to mention that tonight we are going to be playing Guess the Bottle again, Holiday Edition. I'll give you guys some more clues into that, how that's going to go when we get closer. Oh, there it goes. All right. So let's pop this up. This is for ADHD Fishing. America. There you go. So here's the cork, guys. This is the top of the cork, which looks pretty cool. I actually really like the design. Being a designer myself, I love the design of the cork. It's a little light, but I thought this was going to be like way heavier from when I opened it up here. So let's pour this out. Nice hefty pour, as usual. And I'll leave the bottle right here for you guys to take a look at. A lot of effort to make the fancy bottle. Yeah, apparently. Kilojolt. The bottle for Guess the Bottle is Baker's 13. Actually, I think I already did the new Baker's bottle in one of them. So you'll have to find out and see. So let's get a close look at the color, guys. There's the color, nice and close. 13 years. It's got a nice darker color to it. As far as coating the glass, it does it pretty well. It's coating it pretty nicely. Let me try to get some air in here, guys, before I jump into it here. ADHD Vision said, love it. Yes. Hey, I just saw Rick Haskew with a $14.99 super chat. Wow, man. Thank you so much. Rick Haskew. I don't have the crash symbol tonight. I have a ride symbol, a little bit different. Thank you so much, Rick Haskew, one of my legendary drummers, my patrons. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you so much, Rick. Cheers. Let me know what you guys are pouring tonight, what you got in your glass. I'm going to dive in to the Bakers here and see what we got here on the nose. All right, well, right off the bat, it smells like Beam. Ooh, let me open that up a little bit more. It smells a little bit more alcohol forward than I thought it would be. It's also very oaky right off the bat. 13 years Jim Beam, you would think it's going to be a little bit oaky. A lot of like toasted oak flavor. This is a lot of sweet oak. It's not bitter oak. It's a lot of sweet oak I'm getting on the nose. Very oaky. All right, now I'm just starting to get more baking spices coming out of here. Deep rich caramels and a lot of baking spices here. A ton of cinnamon, a lot of nutmeg I'm getting too. See here. Oh my God, Fred Minnick is in the house. How you doing, Fred Minnick? Thanks for stopping in. I'm just digging my. Thanks, I appreciate that, Fred. Thanks for coming in. Cheers. Enjoying the series on the with what you did with the Pappy. That was great. Amazing when you do things blind. We're gonna have a really cool blind tasting tonight. Let's see here. A lot of toasted oak. I'm getting some. I'm getting some really nice pecans in here. Maybe it's because it was just Thanksgiving and I get like a pecan pie type of note in here as well. You know what's nice? The one thing I am getting in here that what I thought separated bakers from the rest of the Jim Beam small batch collection is the like a fruity note to it. It's a little bit cherry. I'm definitely getting like a berry in there. It takes a little while to get there once this opens up though. Really the oak kind of overwhelms at first and then really kind of hey Radislav Chaps, thanks for coming in. Fred Minnick, he says, "Sweet, I'm watching you over the Vikings." So that's a big. That's that is big. I didn't know you were a Vikings fan. You guys have a decent team this year. It took a while for your quarterback to get going, though. Man. All right. All right. So right off the bat, guys, if you ever get a pour of this right up front, you're gonna get a ton of oak up front, some sweet oak. Then all of a sudden that kind of Jim Beam peanuttiness kind of takes over a little bit. But then once it opens up, you get a really nice fruit flavor that comes in. I think it's in the form of kind of like I want to say like a like a dark cherry raspberry type flavor. It's really nice. Very very well balanced bourbon so far. All right, let's go for a taste. Cheers to you all out there. Happy holidays. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Here we go. Oh, the TV show, The Vikings. Oh, that's way better than the football team. That's good. See, oh, okay. So wait, let me get another taste here. All right, so right up front, I was actually hoping to get more spice on the front of the palate. It's kind of flat right when it hits the front of the palate. When it hits the mid palate is when it really starts shining. Then you start getting the baking spices and the cinnamons and a little bit hint of a pecan note. Then on the finish is really just oak spice, and then that fruity characteristic kind of pops up. Get a little bit of cherry on the end, tiny bit of a peach flavor. No, I think it's more cherry, more raspberry. The fruit note on this is what's saving it for me because if it just kind of stayed oaky and more baking spicy, not sure if it would have been, that interesting. It just would have been kind of like an older Knob Creek. So let's go for another sip. Mm. Yeah, that it's getting a little bit better as you keep sipping it here. You're getting a little bit more used to the oak, and now the other spices and the other flavors are starting to shine through. Linux Cat asked me if I'm a Browns or a Bengals fan. No, remember I grew up in New York. I did not grow up in in Ohio. So Not either of my teams. Jeffrey Wack comes in with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says OH. I'm going to say IO. Because Ohio State beat the shit out of Michigan over the weekend again. Sorry for any of you Michigan fans out there. Nick Foles, have you ever had the chance to try the 19-year... Whoa, chat's going way too fast. Have you ever had a chance to try the 19-year William LaRue Weller from the Antique Collection? The 19-year... Like 2019? Yeah, I have a bottle of it. I reviewed it. Go back a couple weeks on my live stream, and I popped it open then. I was lucky enough to get one. Actually, I followed the Giants, Linux Cat. Nate Elkington, we can measure your affinity for a bourbon based on your hand movements. The wilder the hand waving, the greater your love for it. That's actually probably a really good measuring stick. Hey, Richie Z's in the house. What's up, Richie? Just saw you, buddy. Mark JG, how you doing, man? Bourbon Sane is here. Oh, that sip I got spice from the front to the back. I think it just needed a little time to open up here. That time I got this oak spice right up front. Some really nice vanillas, some caramels, of course. As it worked its way back, though, that oak spice just kind of stays a little bit. You get some cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, too. But then the finish, you get that nice, typical Baker's, that little bit of a fruit note. I think it's a very beautifully balanced bourbon, and I think if you can get it at the MSRP of about $100, I think it's well worth it for a 13-year. I think it's for a 13-year in today's market, 107 proof. That's pretty well priced, especially with the nice bottle, the fancy box. Obviously, it's a little bit more rare. It's a little bit harder to find. But if you come across it for 100 and you like that beam profile, if you loved Baker's, if you like the old black wine bottle design, then you're going to probably really love this. It's got all the nice oak, that beam funk to it, a little bit of a peanut. The peanut note comes in the form of pecan for me. But then that really nice Baker's fruity finish. Just great. Whiskey Crusader says, open that Little Book 3. It is great. Thanks again. Oh, man, I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, the Little Book 3 I really liked at first. I mean, I'm finding as it opens up, it's getting a little bit flat. I hope it doesn't stay. I'm hoping it just was my palate that day. But yeah, it just wasn't as like vibrant and spicy as it was when I first opened it. Nick Foles, they actually had a 19-year-old W.L. Weller. Oh, no, I've never even seen or tasted that. Nope. Okay, let's see here. Anybody else? I don't drink the bottle or box. That's true, Jimmy Drammer. Yeah. But I mean, it is going to factor into the cost. So I understand that point, though. Peter White, he was asking if you have ever tried the 2000. Oh, no, I never tried it, Peter. Nope. Tim Gardner, so does that mean Baker 7 is going up in price? The regular Baker 7, I think, is staying around the same price. I still have yet to find one of those, actually. I was able to find this before the regular 7-year, which was very weird to me because I wanted to do both. But I think the 7-year is staying around the same price. And it's going to a single barrel, of course, as I mentioned. Hey, the Rock Gut Review is in here. What's up, Ed? I just cracked the Little Book 3 too. Really dig it. Yeah, I mean, it's really good at first. I really liked it. Jeffrey Wack, have you ever had the Baker single barrel? Saw an 8.5 year today. Wonder how it compared to the 13. I'm still waiting to get one of those, but I will do a comparison when I get the regular one. All right, perfect. Yeah, it's good. It's a good bourbon. You could definitely taste the age on it. That 13 years definitely gives it more of an oaky profile. So if you like a little bit more of an oaky profile, a little bit more spice, cinnamon, along with that, basically, I'll tell you this. If you like the older Knob Creek picks, the ones that have a little bit more of, and you wish it had a little bit more of a fruit characteristic to it, then you're going to love this one. If you're just into the regular Knob Creek picks and you don't care about a fruit flavor, then probably not worth it for you. So that's my honest assessment. All right, here we go. Fred Minnick, have you ever had whiskey come out your nose when talking into the microphone? Not saying it's happened to me. Not saying it didn't. I'm actually once, I remember on a live stream, I don't remember, it was one of my early live streams, when I had the microphone, I took way too big of a swig of whiskey. I believe I think I was drinking a Russell's Pick. Oh, actually, no, it was Old Grandad 114. I took a big swig of Old Grandad 114, and that stuff is spicy. And I took way too big of a swig of it, and I literally, like, coughed and, like, gagged directly into the mic. I was like, I was like, oh my God, it was so embarrassing. That Old Grandad got me, though. Man. All right, guys, let's set up this barrel-proof tasting. I'm going to be doing a full review of this once it opens up a little bit more and I get acquainted with it more. I'll be doing a full review, hopefully along with the 7-year when I get my hands on that one. So, all right. So here's our barrel-proof flight right here. I'm going to take the tops off. Then we're going to mix them up a little bit. All right, so let me move this box so you guys can see the contenders here tonight. Now, I think it's going to be an interesting blind flight here tonight. So tonight I have, in the mix, I have the Woodford Reserve 2018. So we have a couple throwbacks here and a couple new ones. So this is the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof. Comes in at 125.8. I have the George T. Stagg 2018. This comes in at 124.9. I have Foregate Whiskey Company. This is the batch 1. This is their first release. So this was the one finished in Oloroso and rum sherry barrels. 123.4 proof. I have the Elijah Craig C918, my favorite Elijah Craig barrel proof batch of all time. And then the wild card in here is I threw a Knob Creek single barrel. Now this Knob Creek single barrel is a pick, and this one is almost 15 years old. So I figured I'd throw this one in because these are all pretty close in proof. They're not phenomenally high. The highest proof one in here is the Elijah Craig at 131. Everything else is in that 120 and a little bit above range. So we're going to see how these fare and which one comes out on top. We'll see if the Elijah Craig is truly still my favorite bourbon. So I'm going to mix these up, guys. Hey, how you doing, Juliet Miranda? Thanks for coming in. If none of you guys have checked out Juliet Miranda at Bourbon Soak Live, you should. Puts on a great show on Monday nights. Go check it out. All right, guys, we have 134 in the chat. Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it. This is awesome. After I do my first taste through, we're going to give away some samples. We're going to play Let's Make a Whiskey Deal tonight a little bit. Have some fun. Guys, win some samples. Just want to let you know, Trev Wilson, Cap and Make It Happen, and Jason Coach, your samples that you won have been shipped out to you. Trev, you're getting a William Lee Weller and a Thomas H. Handy. And Cap and Make It Happen, you're getting the Thomas H. Handy. And Jason Coach, you're getting the William Lee Weller. So those have all been shipped out and on the way to you guys. So hope you enjoy when you get them. Please let me know how you enjoy them. All right. DH Silv, is the knob in profile or is it an out-of-profile knob? Tend to like the off-profile ones. Well, that's the thing about this one. This is the first time I'm opening this one. So that's why it's kind of the wild card. I'm just throwing it in here, and we're going to see how it fares. I poured it in the glass. All the glasses have been sitting out for the last half hour, so it did have a chance to open up a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see in fairness how this goes. Cap and Make It Happen. Good to hear, and I'll let you know when some stuff is coming your way. Thanks, man. All right. Yeah, sample wins. We're going to have some more chance for some samples tonight, guys. There may or may not be something in the stockings behind me. It's your only clue. All right, so let's go to the first one here. Let me move these out of the way, and we'll get some. So I can take some notes here. Let's go to the first one and see what we get, guys. God, that smells glorious. This is pure candy on the nose, extremely sweet. This is almost like when you cotton candy on the nose, which is really nice. A little bit of maple syrup. Wow. Richie ZS, is the batch proof your fave recent Woodford? I actually really dig the batch proofs. I wish they did more stuff at higher proof because I think at higher proof you really get to taste the quality of what Woodford does. I know it's mixed with Old Forester juice, but um, if you like that profile, the batch proof is it's kind of the purest essence of that and of that type of flavor profile, and I love it. I know Woodford has a very long-standing tradition of doing everything at that 90.4 proof, and I get that, but their stuff really can shine when it's a little bit higher of a proof. Although I will say that wheat whiskey that they released this year was absolutely delicious, and that was a huge surprise. Yeah, this is like circus like cotton candy, like scented like when you're at a circus and the cotton candy person walks by, you get like that waft. That's what I'm getting in here. Cotton candy and maple syrup. Definitely a good amount of a little bit of oak there. Brown sugars. Definitely rich caramels, but that cotton candy sweetness is really just taking over. So let's go for a sip of the first one. Cheers, guys. That's really good. Even when I first took a sip of it, right on the front of the palate, it was just super, super sweet. This was, you actually could, if this wasn't the spice on the front of the palate, this was all candy and sweetness, just kind of attacking the palate at once. On the finish, maple syrup, definitely some more oak there, little vanilla extract, but the cotton candy flavor is all up front, all up front. Let's go for another sip. Cap and make it happen. This sounds like something Buddy the Elf made from your description. He might have. He might have. Maybe it's his blend. It's called Cottonhead and Ninny Muggins. That's really good. It's sweet. It's a good proof. This is not overpowering on the proof point either. Definitely getting some really good spice on the back end, some oak. Really great finish. Man, if that's the first one, that's going to be hard to beat. That is just super sweet. I'm going to call that the cotton candy bomb. Any guesses? If I had to guess, I would think that it was maybe the four gate, just based on being it's so sweet. 'ADHD fishing. Hey, what's up, my bourbon journey? What's up, Scotty? If you guys haven't checked out my bourbon journey, definitely go check out Scotty's. Been putting out some great reviews lately. All right, second one, guys. Here we go. Yeah, this one's completely different. This one's your more typical kind of a caramel brown sugar bomb in here. A little sweet. Now, the only one that hasn't been open in this whole flight was the Knob Creek, so I don't know when that one's coming up. Yeah, I think people are saying the four gate might be that first one. We'll see. Yeah, I wasn't getting any nuttiness in there, so I wasn't sure that the Knob Creek is already in my head, like it's somewhere hiding in here. Yeah, this is more typical like brown sugars, dark caramels, really good oak spice in there, some black pepper. Hmm. There's a little bit of cherry in here too, like a Luxardo cherry, like a rich cherry. I like this one. A little bit of a chocolate note there too, maybe. Let's go for a sip. Cheers. Oh, that that had a funky aftertaste. Man, there was a lot of like weird funky oak going on in that one on the aftertaste. Let me kind of. I don't want to say I'm going to call it out. I think that's got to be the Woodford Reserve. And the only reason why I say that, I got like this funky banana oaky thing right on the finish. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I think I would put money that that's Woodford. But we'll see. Let's go for another sip. Oh, that sip was much better. Oh man, now I'm not so sure. I don't know, maybe. The first sip tasted like a Woodford product or an Old Forester or a Brown Foreman, I should say. Ton of chocolate and cherry on the front of the palate. Just a lot of chocolate, a lot of cherry, some spiciness. But then the back end, man, oak and a little banana hint. Telling you. Hey, Joseph Brazo's in the house. What is up, Joseph? Thanks for coming in. 132 in the chat. Awesome job, guys. Thanks for coming in and watching tonight. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Joseph Brazo writes, "Go Blue." Didn't do too well last weekend, boys. Man. I love the front of that palate. The front of the palate is so good, but then the back end just has like that. Yeah, it's got that weird, like a kind of a oaky banana type thing going on. But I do love the front of the palate. Really nice. All right. We're about to go to number 3 here. Hey, what's up, Mike Meyer? Nice to see you, man. Richie Z. Captain, make it happen. This is just a roller coaster of emotions. I'm caught in a glass case of emotions. All right, let's go to number 3 here. Let's see what we get. Oh, this smells good. That smells real good. Man, I might be picking up like blueberries on here? A little bit. There's a little bit of a nutty characteristic there. Could this be the Knob Creek? Oh, God, it's already playing in my head. Good proof point here. Definitely smell it. A lot of sweet oak, not bitter oak. Very good sweet oak. Brown sugars. Hey, Most Chun, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I mean, you do a blind flight like this, especially even with barrel proofs, you really can smell the differences. It's really amazing. That's why I love doing this. There's a black pepper going on here, which is really nice. Cinnamon. Getting a little bit of a maple in here too, a little bit. This one has a little bit of a peanuttiness. So am I thinking Knob Creek or am I thinking the Elijah Craig? Joseph Brazo, I don't know if you heard, the ECBP C918 is in this this blind flight somewhere. So we'll see how it does, buddy. I know you're as much in love with that batch as I am. All right, cheers, guys. Let's go in. Well, that's good. That's good, but oh man, it's not as nutty on the palate. I was getting it more on the nose rather than the palate. The palate is just all brown sugar. A little bit of a lot of cinnamon I'm getting on here. A ton of cinnamon spice, nutmeg. Man. All right, here we go. Cheers. Oh, okay. That sip was really good. It was really good. Super sweet. Super. I mean, this is like this is when I talk about a creme brulee in a glass. The vanilla custard, the creaminess of it, with that brown sugar topping, the hard topping. Man, that's good. So good. Hey, we just got a super chat from Karen B. Ford. She says, "Love this barrel proof blind. Cheers." Thank you so much, Karen. Awesome. Thank you. You get the You get the ride symbol. Thank you so much, Karen. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining in tonight. Yeah, this is just all brown sugar, vanilla, cinnamon, oak. Really, really sweet. This does not make me think anymore that it could be Elijah Craig. I think that's. I'm not sure where we're at with that one. Maybe that could be the Knob Creek. I don't know. Maybe it's a different profile knob. Could be the Stag. That would lean more towards Stag for me than anything. But again, I'm just trying not to guess too much. I don't want to mess around with it in my head. The Oak and Smoke Whiskey Reviews. Jason, how is the 13 year? If you like an oakier beam flavor profile with a little touch of fruit in it, like some of the older Knob Creek picks, then you'll really like the 13. That's the kind of the best advice I can give you on that one. Steph John McKinney would, what does that say? Have to see E.H. Taylor barrel proof in this lineup. I was gonna put that one in, but I did that in the last barrel proof one I did on Saturday. So I didn't want to do that one again in here. So I just wanted to do new ones. Rebecca Page, can you play Wipeout? Yeah, that was like the first song every drummer like learns is Wipeout. All right, let's go into number 4 here. Oh, that smells wonderful too. I mean, this one is giving me like a cotton candy note too now. Oh, this is crazy. There's a ton of oak in there. Ton of oak. There's a lot of oak pushing through. A lot of spiciness, caramel. Arthur Lopez, hey Jason, how good are you at playing Hot for the Teacher? That song's got some fun drumming in it. Yeah, I love playing Hot for the Teacher. The double bass in that is crazy fun to do. I gotta like practice that more because when I was living in New York, when I was in Queens, I could barely ever play my drums. I had to go to a studio and play because I just, I'm in Queens and it's apartment buildings and you never play drums. So when I was back when I was on Long Island at my mother's house, I was playing that song all the time and I got really good at it. But, drumming is kind of like anything else. If you kind of stop doing it a little while, it's hard to get those chops back. You got to really work on it. So it took me a little longer to get there. As far as my coordination and everything that I do with my arms and some of the offbeat stuff I do, I think I'm pretty much there. But my double bass, I still have to get my chops back when it comes to where I was. You kind of muscle memory with your legs. You just have to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Eric Wade, I thought the first song was Drummer Boy for the 3rd grade Christmas pageant. No, it was Wipeout actually for me. All right, so this is super oaky. This is a ton of caramel, a lot of baking spices. This is an absolute, just like getting a good amount of like milk chocolate in here. A lot of milk chocolate, which throws me off a little bit because I expected the chocolate to really only be in the Woodford one, and I'm getting it a lot here in the in this glass. Donald Rance was debating with a friend what the best intro bourbon for Islay Scotch lovers and Irish whiskey lovers. Thoughts? That's a really good question, Donald. I mean, that's so far at two ends of the spectrum, though. You have an Islay Scotch lover who likes to smoke, but then you have and then Irish whiskey lovers who Irish whiskey tends for me to be. There's some really good Irish whiskeys out there, but they're just a lot smoother and easier. I don't know, for Scotch lovers, you would need something I feel like more cast strength and more interesting. Maybe not cast strength, but something that has a lot of has something a little bit more going on than just a caramel vanilla like your typical flavor profile. I feel like if you like Islay Scotch, you need a bourbon that's interesting to kind of hold your attention. Let's see, for me, I would probably go with something a little bit higher of a proof there. Maybe like a good Russell's Reserve pick. Old Forester 1920. There's a lot going on there. It's a little bit of a smokiness to it too. I think that might be good for an Isla sipper. If you like Irish whiskey, you'd probably want to go with something easier to start with. Maybe like a Four Roses Small Batch Select, even a regular Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare. Any of that stuff will do, I think. All right. The nose is really throwing me off. It's kind of all over the place. There's a chocolate note. There's a lot of oak, some spice, a ton of like this. I'm getting, and I got that little bit of a cotton candy note, which is really sweet on here too. Let's go for a sip. Woo, that's spicy. That has got a ton of oak spice on it. A lot of black pepper, a little bit of fruitiness. Definitely sweet up front, but the spice just really takes over. That is like black pepper just dusted throughout the entire sip. Crazy. Here we go. I like that one a lot. I love the spiciness and the finish, the sweetness up front. Good mouth coating too. It's not like proof heavy. I'm not getting like a long burn, but there's just like this totally spicy experience from front to back. It's so good. A lot of vanilla, a lot of toasted oak sweetness. Really, really good. Go for one more sip here. Still a little sweet, but now the oak and spice are just kind of like overtake everything. I wonder, makes me wonder what that one is because that one's just really spicy, really oaky, but very sweet up front though. But then once you get to the mid palate, just the spice and oak just take over. All right, sip of water here. Eric, wait, was your second song YYZ? Hell no. I was a kind of a late bloomer with Rush. I didn't discover Rush till like high school, and then I just was like obsessed like through high school all the way through college and still today was just obsessed with Rush. All right, last one, guys. Here we go. And then what we're gonna do is after like I taste through this once, we're gonna do the giveaways. Then we'll taste through them again and do the reveal, guys. So here we go. Oh, that nose. That's the Rickhouse nose. That the one that just smells like a Rickhouse. I love that smell in a bourbon. If you guys have ever been on a distillery tour in Kentucky, just this. It's not the air that you get from like a sweet mash. It's when you walk into a Rickhouse and you just smell the angel share just coming out. That's what you get in the glass. This is cinnamon brown sugar toasted pecans. A ton of like vanilla and brown butter in here. Oh man, I love this nose. Some sweetness, a little bit of a peanut too, a little like a honey roasted peanut, but mainly you get like those that really deep rich pecan note here. Man, ton of baking spices. This is like the shards of brown sugar. Again, the creme brulee brown sugar shards. A little bit of a chocolate note here too, but like a dark chocolate, like a bitter chocolate. And cherry. I mean, this is really really complex nose here. Really nice, but as soon as you bring this to your nose, I mean, it is just all Rickhouse. It's delicious. Scary Peeper, late to the party tonight. Cheers. Oh, how you doing, Scary Peeper? Thanks for coming in, man. Bourbon Sane. Nothing quite like that Rickhouse smell. Always get it after I finish a pour. Then just sit there and sniff my glass for a while. Oh yeah, totally. I could see that. Yeah, if I like finish the stream and I'll leave and like tomorrow I'll come down and get the glasses and I'll smell them. Yeah, it definitely smells like that. I always like to. There's a little tip that I do sometimes too. It actually kind of helped me distinguish distilleries. If any of you guys watched the documentary Neat, um, uh, you saw Freddie Johnson from Buffalo Trace do the trick with the white dog. How you put it in your hands, you kind of rub it around in your hands, you get some air into it, slap your hands together, rub it again, and then you get different smells. And it's basically how the old moonshiners used to find out what was in each other's whiskey without knowing what was in the whiskey. Because the first smell, you could basically smell the alcohol and kind of the first dominant grain. When you do this and smell it again, that's when you get the second dominant grain. That's when you could kind of smell the rye bread. Then you do it again, and then you could actually smell the barley on there. So if you do that with a bourbon, especially like a younger bourbon, you could start picking up the different scents within each distillery. If you try doing that, the same thing. Each distillery definitely you could smell the different types of flavor profiles in those yeast strains. It's really interesting trick to do. If none of you guys have done it, take like a Wild Turkey, an Elijah Craig, a Jim Beam, Old Forester, whatever you want, and just take a little bit, rub it in your hands, then and then just like do a comparison. It's really interesting the different scents you get. It really helped me kind of distinguish different distilleries, especially in blind tastings. So, all right, let's go for a taste of the last one. Here we go. Oh, that's so good. It still tastes like a rickhouse, cherry, spice, sweet, sweet oak, brown sugar, baking spices just all day. God, that's good. All right, let's go for another sip. This is one of those ones that's really just really flavorful, very mouth experience. I'm gonna take that from Dan at Bourbon Junkies. He says mouth experience. This is a great mouth experience. Just gives you really coats the palate. Good spice. This actually has a nice finish to it. Not overly. I mean, just perfect balance. This is great. This one is really good. Oh, that sip was even better. That sip was even better. It's just getting super sweet now. All right. I think I have somewhat an idea of my order. I think maybe I'm gonna taste through them one more time real quick. But before we do that, let's give away some samples, guys. All right. So this is what we're gonna do. We have 141 watching. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. So if you guys have never played, um, let's make a whiskey deal holiday edition. So this is what's gonna happen. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you on the screen a silhouette of a bottle. So we're going to play a game called Guess the Bottle. So I'm going to show you a silhouette of a bottle. The first one in the chat to guess what that bottle is will win a chance to get a sample of the Baker's 13, or you can choose what's either in stocking 1 or stocking 2 behind me. So those are your choices. Okay, here we go. Gabriel Berkey says, first live stream here. Thanks for coming in, Gabriel. Really appreciate it. Or is it Gabrielle? Or is it Gabriel? I don't know which one, but welcome. Thank you for coming in. Everybody welcome Gabriel. Okay, so here we go, guys. Here comes the first bottle that I'm going to show you. So everyone get your typers ready. The first one I see in my chat will get a chance to win the sample. Now, your chat might be different from mine. I'm just warning you right now up front. Sometimes it's a little bit different than how I see it. So who the person is that I see it first will win the sample. Now, for this one, the only clue I'm going to give you is I'm looking for the distillery, not the specific name of the bourbon, and it is a bourbon. So here we go. Guess the bottle. Welcome, Gabriel. Thanks for coming in, man. It is Gabriel. It's the first one. No, Fat Trumpet, it is not Screwball. And I think on my chat, Trev Wilson, he is just on fire. Trev Wilson gets, it is Bardstown Bourbon Company. That is the Discovery Series. I put Bardstown in there because I think they're making absolutely delicious bourbons and whiskeys over at Bardstown. So, congrats to my man Trev Wilson. Again, coming in with the I think you beat Cap and Make It Happen by like a second. Yeah, Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series. All right, so the question looms for you, Mr. Trev Wilson. Do you want to try the Baker's 13, or do you want to take stocking number 1 or stocking number 2? Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I need some more water. Robot Scott said it's rigged. Trev Wilson's fast, man. Hey, Rebecca Page, I didn't see you. I actually did see you come in. How you doing, Rebecca? Man, my stuff is delayed. People typing before I get the silhouette. Oh, iPhone problems. He's saying we have cheats. All right, Trev, you're out of the next giveaway, so that's it. Trev is playing it safe. He says the Bakers. Okay, so Trev, you're going to get the Bakers? All right, he's playing it safe. Good job. All right. Here comes the next one, guys. Trev, you're out of this one because you already won one. So the next one's up. Just don't send out Trev Wilson. I'm sure he'll win another one next Wednesday. Save on postage. Yeah, no, he is not. Yeah, he is not. He's not going to be on the next one, guys. So here we go. Here comes the next bottle. I want to make sure I'm clicking the right thing here. Here we go. You can make multiple guesses. If you're the one that's first, I'll still pick you. Oh, Cap and Make It Happen. That's a good guess, but that is not it. Still haven't seen it. Nate Elkington. You guys should know this bottle very well. Here it is. It is the Jephthah. Nate Elkington. You win the sample, buddy. Good job. That one took a little while, but good job. It is the Jephthah Creed bottle. There you go, man. All right. Nate Elkington, what would you like? Do you want the Baker's 13, or do you want to select what's in one of the stockings? Stocking 1 or stocking 2? Congrats, Nate. We have a new winner tonight, guys. I'm glad Nate won. I don't think he's won anything yet. Good job, buddy. All right, Nate, what is it? Do you want the 13 or do you want the other one of the stockings? Radislav Trash said, you freak. Bourbon Apprentice says go for a stocking. Not making it easy. Yeah, well, I mean, Gabriel, this is your first live stream. I've done this a lot of times before, and sometimes the bottles are... Sometimes people really know the bottles really well, so I got to make it a little bit difficult. He has the Bakers. He would love stocking 2. Wait, take the Jephthah stocking 1. All right, so he wants stocking. Which one did I say was stocking 2? Wait, Nate? Do you want the one next to the sign, or do you want the one over my head? Which one? Nate Elkington. Let me see. Oh, do we have someone crazy going on in the chat? Oh, the one behind my head? Okay, overhead. Let's see what's in here, man. Oh, unfortunately, it's the Jephthah. Oh, man. He guesses Jephthah, and then he's going to get the Jephthah. Actually, Nate, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to send you some Jephthah because I think it'll be interesting for you to try it. But what I'm actually going to do is I'll send you what's in this stocking, which is the Colonel E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof from last year, from 20. This is my bourbon of the year for 2018. So I'll send you this too, along with the Jephthah to make up for the nastiness. So. So you're gonna get. I'll send you a little bit of the Jephthah, and I'll send you the that one. So, yeah, the Jephthah is the bad one. I know. I can't get rid of that stuff. I know. That's the only way I could get rid of it. All right, guys. So congrats to Nate. You're gonna get you're gonna get some Jephthah, and you're gonna get some Colonel Taylor Barrel Proof from last year, 2018. And Trev, you're gonna get the Baker's 13, buddy. Oh man, there's no way. If I sent it to him blind, oh my god, he would be absolutely. He would know exactly which one is which. Okay. Does he drink it first or second? He should probably drink it. He should take the Jephthah, drink that, and then after he's done, drink a gallon of water, and then have the Colonel Taylor, and then he'll be good. So, all right, guys, here we go. Congrats to the winners tonight. Let's taste through the through 1 through 5 here again, real quick. We'll rate them, find out what they are, and we'll call it a night, guys. So here we go. Let's start with number 1 again. This one was from my notes, this is the Cotton Candy Bomb. That's really good. I like that one a lot. It has such a great balance of sweetness and typical bourbon flavors. You get sweet, it's very fruity. There's like a raspberry, strawberry thing going on as well. A lot of maple syrup. Cotton candy up front, but a nice long, just a really great kind of a, how can I explain it? It's not like a super oaky finish. It's just like a really nice brown, sugary, like spicy oak finish too. That kind of ends the whole experience with all that sweetness. Just a really well constructed bourbon. I like that a lot. All right, let's go to number 2 here. Take a quick sip. Master Drum, any more off the still in the videos in the works? Yeah, Richie, I'm actually working on one with, hoping to interview Dan McKee from Michter's real soon. Want to talk to Michter's, so working on that one. That would probably be after the holidays, though. Right now it's a little tough to get over there, so hoping after the holidays I could go down there and do an interview with them. Number 2 is that's the one that's really nice cherry chocolate up front, but has that kind of banana-y aftertaste, which is, I could see why some people would like that one, but compared to that one, definitely not in the wheelhouse there. Drew Bolin, I would agree. I think this one could be the 4-gate in number 1 here. If I had to guess, I'm going to say this one is the Woodford. So let's see here. Let's go to number 3. This is just the brown sugar cherry bomb here. It's still very brown sugary. A lot of cherry, a lot of pepper. It's really good. That is just a solid, delicious. This has the pecan note in it too, like sugar pecans. Usually when I taste that, I think Buffalo Trace. Maybe that's the Stag. That's good. That's definitely better than that one. I don't know if I like it more than this one though. Crazy. All right. Let's go to this one, number 4. This is the oaky spicy one. Really oaky, really spicy, a little bit of fruit, but it's got a ton of spice to it, like black pepper. Some pepper. Scary Peeper, ever heard of Rebellion Rye from Red Pump Distillery? I have not. I have not. That one's good. That one's getting better with each sip. I happen to like that because I like that spiciness to it. All right. But I mean, this black pepper on this is just lingering for like days. That reminds me of the finish on the Wild Turkey Cornerstone. When you had that rye and it just kept going and going and going and going and going. It was just crazy. All right, let's go to this one here. Oh, yeah, baby. That's the Rick House right there. That is a Rick House in a glass. Super sweet. Peanutty a little bit. But this is like those sugar-coated peanuts. Just really good. Stitch in Time, Howell, Michigan says it's benchmark. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Thanks for coming in, Stitch in Time. Cheers. All right, Drew Bolin is guessing here. GTS, KC, ECBP. Drew Bolin, 1, 2, 3. He's guessing. Josh Embry says Cornerstone worth the money. Ugh, that's tough, man. It's such a... That was the hardest one for me to kind of figure out like what the value would be of that was, because it is a delicious, delicious rye. The finish on it goes on for days. There's a nice cherry note to it. But, man, for $160, it is. If that stayed at 120, 130, like some of the other releases, I would say absolutely. At 160, I just feel like you have to be like a Wild Turkey nut, and I think you'll really love it. But if you just overall love a rye with a long, long finish, then I think you would love the Cornerstone. It'd be worth it. But if you're just like a daily, like not a daily, like a casual rye drinker, I probably wouldn't spend the money on it. But it is a very good rye. All right. All right, so let me rate these. So, all right, so this one's going to be last because this one is just a little bit funky. Number 2. This one's last. Now the rest, I mean, these are all pretty tough. I have to kind of go between 3 and 4 here because 3 just has such a great balanced flavor profile. This one is just like super spicy though. If that had way more oak flavor, or if that had more of a balance, that one would be really good. But this is just all oak spice and a little bit of that nuttiness. So I would venture a guess that could be the Knob Creek in there if I had to guess. All right, so let's go. All right, so I think I have this one at 4th place. I'm sorry, 5th place. This one I think I'm gonna put at. This one I think I'm gonna put at 4th place. Now it comes down to these 3, and they're all really close. This one is just. It's just really sweet. This one is just such a good balance, though. All right, I'm gonna put. I think the last one's gonna be my number one. The problem is these two. Do I want a better balanced one, or do I want the over like candy one? You know what? I'm gonna put number number three as third. I'm gonna put number one as second and number five as first. So complete reversal here. Yeah. All right. So here's my lineup, guys. So let's go to the results. Richie Z, sorry, Jason, off topic, but the Four Roses 2019 limited edition worth $340. I found a start $340. No. I mean it's still in contention for my bourbon of the year, but that's a lot of money. I wouldn't pay $350 for that. You know, Four Roses limited editions get a big markup in the secondary, but that's getting into like BTEC territory. I just don't know if that would be worth it. Honestly. Man, I don't know if honestly 3 and 2 it really just depends on what mood I'm in. This one is a clear winner for me, this one here. But it's like if I like if I'd like to want something really sweet, or if I just want like a really good balanced bourbon. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to switch it up because I'm going to put number 2 at 3 and number 3 at 2. Just because this one I feel like this is not, I don't feel like this would be an everyday sipper for me. Like I wouldn't go to this all the time because it's so sweet. This one and this one I think would be like stalwarts. Like I would really want to go to them all the time. So, all right. So let's find out what we got here, guys. Rebecca Page. Just think how many Jephthahs could buy for $350. Yeah, too many. All right, here we go, guys. Last place, letter E. Letter E was, call it, Woodford Reserve Batch Proof. 125.8 proof, guys. This is last year's batch. I haven't tried this year's batch. Great palate on the front. It just had that funky, oaky, banana-ish type flavor profile on the back end, and that's what kind of killed it compared to the other ones. But whenever I've had this alone and not compared it to the others, it's really good. It's my favorite Woodford Reserve. But when you compare it to these, it just kind of fell short. So let's go that one. Okay. Coming in fourth. Let's see. Let's check the letter here. This is letter A. Letter A. What is that one? Oh my God, letter A was George T. Stagg. Holy crap. That was fourth? Holy shit. Now, this is the George T. Stagg from 2018. Donald Rance. Yeah, Double Oak is distillery only. That's crazy. Yeah, that reads right. Letter A, George T. Stagg. That came in fourth. That's nuts. Wow. I was wrong. I was wrong on that one. Wait, I didn't. That was, yeah. I didn't mix up the order, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, that's fourth place. That's crazy. All right. So this one, I guess, was the, this one I thought was the Knob Creek. So let's go to letter C. And yes, this is the Knob Creek single barrel. So that's the Knob Creek. So that means the number one is between, yeah, Foregate and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Yep. So Knob Creek, this store pick, which I got for $45, came in third over the George T. Stagg. Crazy. So this is third place. All right, let's go to number 2. Number 2 is the Sugar Bomb, and this is letter B. Yeah, 4-gate. It had to be 4-gate. It was just way too sweet. So for those of you that haven't had 4-gate yet, this is bourbon that was aged in sherry cask that held rum as well. So it got a lot of sugary sweetness. And then number 1, which is what I thought was the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So the one I really mixed up was the George T. Stagg and the Knob Creek. I thought at first that George T. Stagg was the Knob Creek, and I thought reverse. But the Knob Creek actually had a better flavor profile to me compared to the George T. Stagg. This particular pick. Now, again, this is a pick. It's not the regular version of it. But, yeah, that came in as pretty impressive, and it was the wild card. And it came in, and it took down the George T. Stagg for me tonight. But, yeah, the 4-gate coming in number 2, and, of course, my favorite batch ever, Elijah Craig, C918. Just that flavor profile on that one. If any of you guys ever see Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C918, pick it up immediately. Absolutely, man. That's crazy. Yeah, this was the 2018 George T. Stagg, not the 2019. Mashanddrum. Well, hold on a second. Rebecca Page found an old screenshot saying I need to pick up a Woodford 4-grain batch. Should I still pursue that or move on? Let's see. How much you pay for that ECBP? Yeah, this one I got. This one when I bought it was actually this one I got in Kentucky. I finished my original one I bought here in Ohio, and that one was like $55. This one I bought in Kentucky, I believe, for about $70. This was a little bit higher, but for that flavor profile, I was taking it. So the Knob Creek, this one is almost 15 years old. This is a 14 and a half month, year-old pick. So, crazy, right? 120 proof. That's only a little bit lower than this. This George T. Stagg came in at 124.9 last year. So, and then this year's is even lower than that. So, as it gets lower and lower, this Knob Creek, man, took it. Really good. Let's see. What's the info on the KC pick? So, this KC pick is from Unlimited Spirits, which is in Lexington, Kentucky. 120 proof, as they normally are. And this one, yeah. Barreled 10/14/2004. Selected 2/11/2019. So, yeah, almost 15 years. I just saw a super chat from Joseph Brazo. He said, told you. You were right, Joseph. Good job, man. Joseph and I mean, me and him, we talk about this bottle all the time. I do have to put it against the C919 because the C919 I think is ridiculously good too, and see which one comes out on top. Travis Willard said, hey, just making it in. I'm in the middle of nowhere near Cincinnati. It sucks, but I have Wild Tucker 101 to make things better. Nice, Travis. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Big sexy. Jason, have you had Little Book Chapter 3? How would this compare with the group? I don't know. I think it's a little bit complex when you get it in the beginning, but the last time I tried it fell a little flat. I think the next barrel proof flight I do, I'm going to add that one in there. So we'll find out how it fares. KC picks are going by. Yeah, the latest KC, the latest Knob Creek picks that I've been seeing have been around that 9-year-old mark. They haven't been in that ultra-aged mark anymore. So if you see anyone that has some of these 13, 14-year-old picks for about $14, I mean, it's a steal. One of the best values in the market. Drew Bolin says C918 is better than C919. There you go, making a bold statement. ADHD Fishing, I felt that Unlimited Spirits actually had the most limited spirits while I was in Lexington. Curveball. Thank you, ADHD. DH Silv says, I think you need to pour the Little Book and see what you think. All right, should I grab the Little Book, guys, real quick before we sign off? Where is the Little Book 3? All right, it's right here. Let me grab it. Let's see how it compares real quick. All right, guys. So let me open this box of goodness here. So for those of you that don't know much about Little Book 3, this is the third blend in the Little Book series. This is the first straight bourbon whiskey that's released in the series after Little Book 1, Little Book 2. This is called The Road Home. This is a blend of a 9-year Kentucky straight bourbon of the 9-year-old Basil Hayden, 9-year-old Knob Creek, an 11-year-old Booker's, and a 12-year-old Baker's. These are all at barrel strength. None of these are watered down. I do know that the most the proportion that has the most whiskey in is the Knob Creek. I can tell you that. So let's pop this open. Bourbon saying, let me just point out that the top shelf with 3 ECBPs sitting on it. Yeah, I actually have 12 of them. Those are just like my 3 favorites I keep up there. But I have like 12 ECBPs. I love them. So, all right, let's pour out the Woodford. Let's clean this glass a little bit. Then we'll get some Little Book 3 in here. Karen B. Ford, you are very consistent with the Elijah Craig C918. I'm impressed. Yeah, I mean, I could just. There's something about that bottle. I don't know what it is. It's a glorious bottle. Whiskey A says best Little Book batch. I don't know, man. I was really in love with Little Book 1. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like it. I really like Little Book 1. Maybe not for, maybe it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. It is very different, but I like that about it. And I did think it had a really nice flavor profile. All right. Josh Embry, how many bottles you got in there, Jason? I'm up to about a little over 400 now of bottles. So I've seen people with more. The thing is that I have a lot of singular bottles of stuff. The bottles that I have like doubles, triples, quadruples of is probably like Russell's Picks, Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs, obviously, as you know. I have a lot of Booker's bottles, and I also have a lot of Old Forester 1920s because that's my favorite. But the rest I have kind of one-offs. So, all right, let's pour that. Hey, we just got a super chat with Robot Scott. He says, regretting not picking up a C918 that I saw this weekend in Delaware. Oh, dude, Robot Scott. There you go, man. You got to get that, man. Richie Z says, Little Book 1 at $77 retail is a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer at $70. Hell yeah. LB3 is righteous. Yeah, I mean, I when I reviewed it, I loved it. All right, so let's take, this is Little Book 3. Holy shit, I poured a lot of that. Yeesh. Okay. I'm just going to compare it real quick to the C918 here. I will say this. Both have a very Rick Housey smell, which is awesome. Love that about it. Now, the Knob Creek, or the, I should say the Little Book 3, the Road Home, this one has that intensity of the bean profile, that roasted honey peanut. But I think the Baker's in here helps giving a little bit more of that fruit characteristic. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, though, if I had to compare it, this is just like sweet candy. This is the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Just comes in really, really sweet, really delicious. The Little Book comes in just a little bit sweeter and a little bit fruitier. But this is super sweet, too. I got to say, the Elijah Craig. This is just like pure brown sugars. But the Little Book has that spiciness, and it has a really great citrus note to it as well. A lot of orange peel, I think. Looks like Robot Scott's going to drive back to Delaware. Or Dave Scott. All right, let's go for the Little Book 3 here. All right, that sip was much better. I got a ton of orange, though, on it. A ton of orange peel. I think that high rye, I really think the Basil Hayden in there, I mean, you got to think Old Grandad 114. That high rye, that high rye spice that you get. I usually get that, and that's just me. I get it in the form of citrus. So I get a lot of orange spice on here, a lot of pepper. You still get that quintessential peanuttiness. C918. I mean, they're both so it's really hard to compare because I honestly think this is the better buy because you're gonna get this cheaper than the Little Book, and I think it offers just as much flavor. It's a little bit sweeter. Now I'm getting more of an almond note on it, which is really nice, like a sugary sweet almond. The Little Book, though, you're gonna get a lot of citrus, a lot of spice, a lot of black pepper, that peanuttiness. I think if you're a Jim Beam fan and you love that flavor profile, I think Little Book 3 is definitely a must-have because it's just that it's all those flavors just amped up to the next level. The peanut, the pepper, the spice, that citrus note that you get from the Basil Hayden, from the cast strength Basil Hayden, and then it kind of transitions to the fruitiness from the Bakers. It's complex and it gets more complex as it opens up. Elijah Craig may not be as complex as this one because there's a lot of stuff that happens with these Little Books, especially as it works its way down the bottle. You get a little more air into it. But the Elijah Craig here is just an absolute flavor bomb for what it is. It's 12 years old. I mean, the oldest whiskey in the Little Book is, what does that say, 13? That's a 12. It's a 12-year-old Baker's. So you have 2 9s, an 11, and a 12 in the Little Book. This is all 12. So you're gonna get a little bit more oak in here, but that's what I would say. I mean, the high rye Basil Hayden really comes through. I think on this, it really kind of overtakes the palate, especially when you get some air into it. So really good stuff. So I still like, for the value, for what you get in the bottle, Elijah Craig for me still kind of reigns supreme. But if you're a huge fan of the Jim Beam flavor profile, then I think you'll really enjoy Little Book 3. So all right, guys. With that, that's a show. Thanks for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it. This was a great night. Had a lot of fun. Had a ton of people in the chat. Thank you to all the other channels that tuned in tonight. Thank you for my patrons for tuning in. Thank you to Fred Minnick who tuned in tonight, which is, fucking amazing. That was so cool that he took the time from Vikings to drop in and say hi. Thank you to my moderators for kicking out some people, and congrats to the winners. And with that, I will see you guys next week for the next barrel-proof blind flight. I'm going to probably put some more really cool, unique ones in there. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you'll share it with. Cheers to you guys, and I'll see you next week. Look out for my next review, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everybody. Cheers.